Right, students, good
Recording
evening.
in progress.
Online students, am I audible? Good evening also, all of them are unable to say. Because one student one time, another student another time. So, right, students, good. But subject you talk. Good evening, not necessarily, because internal marks are not there in my hand. So I can give you a good subject for you. Please follow that. So let's start up. So practice the database. Started a case study. Started a case study. No? Why? Working on another project. Which project? Oh. Okay. So that project contains how many files? No. Okay. How many files will come totally? 12. Okay. So do this also. You can add to your resume also. Okay. So let us start today. The most important topic. The most important topic I'm entering. So here, oops, in Python. What is oops in Python? What is full form of oops? Object oriented programming. Object oriented programming. Huh? Structure. Language. OOPS. OOPS. What is that S stands for? Structure. How can you prove that it is a structure? Right. So, object oriented programming. Now somebody is asking, Prashanti, are you talking? 100%. Right? So don't tell full form, you say sir. Now, that's what. Full form also you don't know. Then how do you know the subject? So now I am talking. Oops full form, I am not talking now. At the end of the class of oops, I will tell you. So oops in Python, I'll explain 10 days. 10 days. And whatever I'm explaining oops, of course, I don't want to make it by myself as boosted about it. You search in any internet, you take any notes, and my notes will contain 90% more than any website. Just make it granted. Search in any website, whatever I'm explaining, examples and everything, you will see. So I will write our system of policy is what? Index. So I'll open the index, students, first. Okay, now? So let's start the index. Right. The index is so bigger, I don't want to start writing it. I'll take up index now. I'll show you the index, which is just recently completed. That oops related index I will bring it, students. So index I will bring it. 3 things I will bring it from there. So here 6 p.m. oops, I will create a folder. In that oops, I'm just going to paste it. Index of oops, I'll just want to say. And see, students, this will be taking 10 days. And let us go for the things. Index. What are the advantages of oops? And the list of object-oriented principles. What are the various object-oriented principles? And next is called what? These many number of things. Classes, objects, encapsulation, abstraction, inheritance, polymorphism, message passing. Message passing was already discussed with you. Positional arguments, default arguments, keyword arguments, variable length arguments, keyword variable length arguments. Okay. The same thing will come once again in this place. Coming to where next? Classes. Under classes, that means this part, classes. Under the first principle, importance and purpose of class concept. Today we are almost entering into that area. Syntax for defining a class, types of data members, instance data members, class level data members, types of methods, instance method, class level method, static method. What is CLS and self programming examples on classes? And followed by object, importance of what? Object and purpose of concept, syntax for creating object, programming examples. And programming examples related to pickling and database communication using what? Classes and object. That is, even with OOPS also will come across what? Database will come, exceptions will come, pickling will come, everything will come into picture. Whatever the model we discussed it, same model of examples will come in OOPS also. This itself will take 3 to 4 days. Because the classes and objects are the pillars for learning object-oriented programming. Come to next. Constructors in OOPS. Under the class concept only, under the class concept itself, what will come? Constructors will come. Types and purpose of constructors. Types of constructors, default and parameterized constructor. Rules for constructors and programming examples. Right. So here, Dinesh, Pradhan, classes are confusing for me. Okay. Might be. Are you from Java student? Are you from Java student? Dinesh? No? So how you get classes confused? You got any, you trained earlier classes concept anywhere else? Anywhere else you trained on it? Already you trained on which topic you trained, my dear student? On which topic you trained it? Which subject? C, C++. C does not contain classes. C does not contain C. C++ contains what? Classes. If the faculty did not explain properly, everything is confused. 21 years of education is confused only. Your 21 years of education is confused only. Confused only, no? If it is totally clear, we will get the job also. And you don't feel it. Facts, these are all called. Okay. So, okay. So, Dinesh, don't worry, my dear student. I'll explain so clearly for you. You will become perfect. Distractors in OOPS, garbage collector, importance and purpose, syntax for defining destructor, internal flow of destructor, relation between destructor and garbage collector. We got it what? Garbage collector previously now. That garbage collector, I'm going to take it what? With the programming I'm explaining. GC module programming examples. Okay. And next, data encapsulation and abstraction. So, data encapsulation and what? Abstraction. Second pair of principles. There I will talk about importance and purpose, importance of data and abstraction and etc. Implementation. How we can implement encapsulation, abstraction, programming examples. Next, inheritance. Importance and purpose of inheritance, types of inheritances, inheritance syntax, programming examples. Next, method overriding in inheritance will come. Importance and purpose of method overriding, memory management in method overriding, programming examples. Those who are from other languages, method overloading is also there. In Python, whether overloading is there or not, we will discuss in the class. And polymorphism. Polymorphism. Importance and purpose of polymorphism. Difference between polymorphism and inheritance. Method overriding with the polymorphism. Constructor overriding with the polymorphism. Super and class name approaches in polymorphism, followed by programming examples. These are my topics. And the topics which I said so elaborately, I will discuss in the class. Shall I start up? Right. And one more request for everybody. While I am explaining this OOPS, don't remember your old knowledge. If you carry your old 1947 knowledge, my 2023 knowledge will not enter into your brain. Because on white paper, I can write very clearly. On black paper, if I try to write something, it is not visible. Why that black paper is? Because already somebody has written on your page. That page I have to paint it first, then I have to paint my new paint. That is additional work for me. If you are my new student now, I'll make you wonderful. Wonderful now. Also you can make it, provided if you practice it. Okay, now start up. Right. Now I will go to that. So Dinesh Pradhan, now we will start. Now we will start. Sanskar, you also follow me. Now where is this whoops? Why this whoops is coming into picture? All artificial intelligence applications, robotics, all robotics designing, they are actually defined the code by using these whoops. Without whoops, no AI applications will be learned. In machine learning, even your faculty who are learning data science, ask them to explain machine learning algorithms with whoops. Because when you go for robotics designing application development, only whoops is using. You have to write all machine learning applications with whoops only. So let us move to the further about whoops. Start up? Fine. So anybody knowing C++, Java, everything, there also whoops is there. That whoops is different. That I already said that your whoops is already whoops. That I don't want to blame you. I just want to give you from my side. Just I want to go for complete examples, complete clarity I will give you. So it depends on the faculty how they will explain. In my class, I'll explain so clearly. If you practice additionally, you'll get good knowledge. And no doubt in that, whoops is little complicated. And in my teaching, I will explain so easier than previous topic. Right? So if you look at database is much easier than files. Files is much easier than exceptions. You just look at the topic by topic. This topic I will explain with left hand, left finger. Next topic without left hand, left finger also. Just like that we go on explaining. That's why students, I am requesting to all of you, follow me carefully. Go to that. Dinesh, don't worry about mom. Don't worry about colleges. If you think about colleges, really we have to cry. Really we have to cry. 1.5 lakh, 1.5 lakh, 1.5 lakh, 1.5 lakh. Every year 1 lakh you take it. 1 lakh, 1 lakh, 1 lakh, 1 lakh. 4 lakhs. 4 years over. What happened after that? 4 lakhs coming. 4 lakhs knowledge is there. You invested. Anything coming? No. But here, 4,000. What knowledge? Go to industry tomorrow. As it is. Carry the notes. As it is will come. That is called real-time knowledge. Okay now? Let's start the discussion. So, these phones and all those things disturbing. Coming to the point of it. Okay, ma Vivek. No issue. Shall we start now? Now, let us start. Now I am giving introduction to, don't feel students, nothing to worry about it. Now I am going to introduce introduction to object-oriented principles. Object-oriented principles, I am going to talk about it. So why these object-oriented principles are required? Just to follow me carefully. Now, in real time, slowly I will explain, because if I go little speed, you cannot get it, because it's a complicated. First of all, I am telling that it is a complicated. Unfortunately, on Saturday only I am starting this. Majority of them are underground. Monday they will come. They will go to double underground on Monday. 100%. So in real time, let me start. In real time, to develop any project, we must choose a language. We must choose a language. So we must choose a language. In real time, to develop any project, and I'm talking about considerable big project like LIC, Life Insurance Corporation of India. You take SBI. You take all banking sectors. You take RBI projects. You take Gmail. You take Twitter. You take majority of the big applications. So we must choose a language, and it can satisfy two types of principal students, two types of principals. They are number one. I am going to write it. Carefully listen. Number one is called procedure-oriented languages. Procedure-oriented programming principles. Procedure-oriented principles. Okay. Second one is called what you know? Object-oriented principles. Object-oriented principles. How many principles? Two principles. One is procedure-oriented principles, object-oriented principles. Two types of students. One student is so worst student. One student is so perfect student. Worst principle satisfied by one student is becoming that language. One student is so sincere because he is satisfied what? Sincere principles. Sincere principles are not language. Beginning student is good or bad, we don't know. Based on some circumstances, may become good, may become bad. If he satisfies good principles, that student is called what? Good. If the student is satisfying some other principles of bad, that is called what? Bad principles. If any programming language satisfies what? Procedure-oriented principles, that language is what? Procedure-oriented languages. Now I am writing C language. C language is one of the procedure-oriented language. 8086 is the procedure-oriented programming language. Pascal is one of the procedure-oriented programming language. COBOL is one of the procedure-oriented language. Up to Oracle 7.3. When we were the students, Oracle 7.3 were there. Later 8, 9, etc. That upgradation taken place after that. Now I am writing Python is also called what? Procedure-oriented principles will satisfy. Coming to object-oriented principles. What are the languages comes under object-oriented principles? One is called what? Object Pascal. Pascal is redefined with object orientation, students. Object COBOL, Java, C#, Ruby, Smalltalk. Next is called what you know? Lisp, Lisp, Lisp. Next is from where? Oracle 8 onwards. From Oracle 8 onwards. So many languages. Next is Java and many more. And I am writing one in capital. What is it? Python. So Python is what language? Both procedure-oriented and procedure-oriented. There is also another official name is there. What is it? Functional-oriented principles. Functional-oriented principles. In our class, functions concept is designed. Almost 12 days I was explained. So many topics are there. So Python is one of the functional programming language or procedure-oriented programming language and object-oriented programming language. But if you study the internals of Python, you will come to know that I will ask you that question. Python belongs to which language here? Python belongs to which language? Both procedure-oriented and strictly I will want to ask you one question. In Python, everything stored in the form of dash object. Even if you see students, DEF sum OP of A comma B, C is equal to A plus B, return of C. What is AB? Formal parameters. Formal parameters are nothing but object only now. What is C? Local variable. Local variable is also one object or not? What is sum OP? Function name. Every function name is also one variable name or not? Function name is also what? Object name. Who is the class of that function name? Function. Class function. Do you remember that? Even though it is a function, internally function name is what? Object. That means in Python, everything is what? Why they took it a decision of everything is an object. What is this object? What is the beauty of this object? Why total world is running behind object-oriented programming? That is a very, very important. Even though I would like to write a simple sentence, A is equal to 10, B is equal to 20, C is equal to A plus B, C is equal to A plus B, print of what? A comma B comma C. What is this A comma B comma C? Objects. A, B, C are called what? Objects. And behind that object, who is there? Int class, int class, int class, int class. 3 times int, int, int. What is that int is called? Data type, and it is called class. All data types in Python are called classes. And from the day one onwards, I used to write class, 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 class. Right or not? So today I'm writing, come on to the point of it. Even though I'm writing one important point, even though Python language, even though Python language belongs to what? Procedure oriented and what? Even though Python belongs to procedure oriented and what? Object oriented and object oriented, internally all things are treated as, yes, treated as what? Objects. Sir, what is the benefit of treating everything as an object? The main intention, the main pillar for dealing this object, behind the object, who is there? Class. That point we learned in the beginning days only. Platform independent time only, the type of wording I made you to enter into your brain. So today we are entering what are the benefits of treating everything is an object. Treating everything is an object. I'll write it here. Everything is an object. Everything is an object. In Python, I am writing here. What is this now? Benefits. Everything is an object. What are the benefits? Or I can write it. One more thing. Advantages of treating. Advantages of treating. Of course, benefits I already written. Advantages of object-oriented principles. So, object word coming from which principles? Object-oriented principles. I hope you are understanding it. What are the advantages? You are going to get one by one in the class. Principles. So, I am going to write it. What are the various advantages of this object-oriented principles? I am going to give you one by one in the class. Shall we start up? Right. Come on, students. Dinesh, because you said in your previous level, you got confused. Now you are going to understand. Sanskar, you also. So, beginning, you will listen carefully. 1.5 hours is coming because I observed your doubts. You also carefully follow. Okay? Right. So, in middle of it, I'm calling some students' names and don't feel other students, sorry, is not calling me. So, I cannot call 222 students are there now. I cannot call. If I started calling, it will take a lot of time. Okay? Right. Don't take students. All the students are there in my mind. Nothing to feel about it. Advantages of what? Object-oriented principles. Come to the point of it. Number 1. Tell me, what is the first advantage? First advantage, please. Don't know. Okay, no issue. Come to the point of it. Go to the Java language once. No issue. Go to students. program files. I already shown you. Once again, I am showing Java 19, bin JSL. You execute it. See students. Now I am writing int A is equal to 90. Okay. A is equal to 999. Okay. A is equal to 999. Error came or not? This I have shown you in the beginning days. Do you remember? This is called which language? Java. That means A is treated as what? Normal variable. A is not a object. Go to Python environment. Go to Python environment. I'm going to Python environment. Python 3.10. Python 3.10. A is equal to 10. Print off. See how beautiful subject it is. Done. Done. What is the data type internally? What is int? What is A? What is int in Java? Keyword it is. It has some restriction in the memory. It has some restriction in the memory. It is a non-object mechanism. Go to that. A is equal to what? A is equal to 999. Also printing. A is equal to what? 99999. You see, also printed. What did you understand about it? What did you understand about this? Everything is practical. See, this is the one. And see, this is the one. There is a more bigger than that or not? Next, you write it. One more, students. You write like this. Here I am writing. Here I am writing. Print off A. It is stored. Tell me, what did you understand? Objects has the capacity to store large volume of data. Is it explained already in the class? Is it not a benefit of object-oriented programming? Non-object versus object-oriented. Non-object means what? Functional orientation. As on today, Python is, even though Java is an object-oriented listed under, it satisfies functional programming also. Because they are always, earlier, Python used to follow Java. Now it becomes totally reverse these days. That's why for every 2 months, they are coming up with a new version to catch the Python speed. Still they cannot. Speed of Python means what? To reduce its popularity, they are going on changing the Java versions. They cannot catch even after 30 years also. If the total Java they rebuild, they may take care. To rebuild the total Java, it takes minimum 25 years. So Java was already having what? Backward compatibility is there. If they do one change, they have to do a lot of changes in the total software itself. And Python does not have what? Backward compatibility is not there. It is built freshly. And I'm going to contain that. Python objects are going to contain which data? Large volume of data. So I'm writing here, objects can store what data? Large volume of data. Where it is possible? Object-oriented programming. Especially I am writing with which language? Python. And this is a common sentence, students. When you go for an interview point of view, first question, why whoops? You take any student, why whoops you ask? They are whoops. They don't know. Why whoops? Why should I learn whoops? What advantage I will get it? First concept is what? Object stores what data? A large volume of data. They will ask you, can you show the example? Yes, show. Open your laptop. Take Java. Take C language. C language you take it. Store the data 99999. It cannot store. Store 9999 big number. It can store. Then tell them this is the difference you see. You only tell me what is the beauty of object. Can store what data? Large volume of data. Excellent. Now, second point I'm saying. Who is having the capability to hold more number of values? Objects. Java objects are also there, but Java objects are taking what? More number of values, but they are size restricted. They are size restricted. If I take a class in Java, if I say 3 values, only 3 values can store. More than 3, it cannot store. But in Python, if I say 3, 4 I can store, 5 I can store, 6 I can store. Take an example of list. LST is equal to how many values I can replace in LST. 2 na, 3 na, 4 na, 100 na. Any number of values I can store. So who is having the capability to store any number of values? That means, my dear students, you come to that in industry, this is my object, this is my system, machine number 1. Here I am having large volume of data. A large volume of data is available. A large volume of data is available. Such a large volume of data, I want to transfer to where? Another machine M2. Another machine M2. Because OOPS plays a lot of role in communication with remote machines. Remote mission communication is a very, very important. That's why these OOPS internally plays an important role. In the Python, total Python software built with what? OOPS only. I'll show you that. In this place, I will show you a lot of things. So, this large volume of data, if I decided to transfer by using which language? C language. This C language application will send by using what? Value by value only it can transfer. Value by value only it can transfer. If I have 1,000 values with me, how it will transfer? One by one. How many times? 2,000 times it will. 1,000 times wrong answer. 2,000 times it will take. How, sir? First value taken there, coming back. Second value taking there, coming back. To and fro calls are more or not? How many? 2,000 times it is written. Is it not taking more amount of communication time? That means if you are a student, this is a room number 1, this is a room number 2. If 1,000 books are there with you, I am asking to transfer the books. If the student who don't know the meaning of object, he is taking the first book, keeping here, second book, third book, book by book he is transferring. I called you, you are a Python student, you learned object-oriented principles. You are creating what? B is equal to bag of. B is equal to bag of. What is this bag of? L is equal to list of. What is L? Object. What is the list? Class. What is B? What is bag of? Class. Whose class? It's my class. I am defining my own class for my customized operations. Don't worry. First think about Y object. Add these 1,000 books to my bag and go for what? Transfer all at once. Which is the better? Transferring all at once is better. Transferring value by value is better. All at once is better. Take your life level examples. You are coming to the class. You are carrying the bag. In the bag, what is there? Water bottle, one tiffin box, charger, mobile, laptop. So many, some 6 to 7 items are there or not? Are you carrying 6 to 7 items in hands? Or some of them are carrying by your legs? No, where are you keeping everything? B is equal to bag of, B dot add of laptop, B dot add of charger, B dot add of something, B dot add of. All of them are added and kept in the bag and carrying the bag or not? So all the values are put it into what? One object. One object. You are as an object. Yourself is an object. Inside of you, what is there? Eyes are there. Nose is there. Ears are there. Air is there. Heart is there. What is there? Brain is there. Brain is there or not? I don't know. Brain is there. There. Outside brain is there, but inside the class you will disable or not? I don't know. These many things are combined together and kept into one component or not? So what is an object? Internally an object contains so many values or not? So would you like to transfer the value by value or all at once? Yes. You are working in Hyderabad. You are staying in Hyderabad. Now you got a job in Bangalore and you will shift your luggage from Hyderabad to Bangalore or not? In your room, what is there? Laptop is there, mouse is there, table pad is there, table lamp is there, some 20 items are there. How do you transfer? One fine Saturday night, you will take the mouse from Hyderabad and go to Bangalore, keep the mouse and coming Sunday night again. Sunday night you are coming, Monday morning and again taking the keyboard you are taking, again transferring there. By the time job is gone. You are transferring the time only gone. What you will do? You will pack it everything in one object or not? Vehicle. V is equal to vehicle of. Keep everything in the vehicle and ask the vehicle people to send it. Is it not called object? Yes. When you go to vegetable market, you are buying 20 vegetables or 24 varieties of vegetables you purchase. Where are you keeping? Bag or basket? B is equal to bag of. Are you keeping everything and you are carrying the single one or not? Carrying 4 things in 4 hands and 2 hands and 2 legs is easy. Yeah? Carrying everything and putting into one object and carrying is easy now. Keeping the values in the object is easy to carry. Did you understand? So what is the advantage of object? Object advantage is large volume of data. Tell me, students, large volume of data can be transferred all at once. Can be transferred. So we are getting what communication? Effective communication. Effective communication. Effective communication is coming. So all at once is coming. All at once. Large volume of data can be transferred all at once. So we are getting what? Effective communication. Did you understand? Well, come to the next point, students. Third one I am talking about it. Because of storing everything in the form of object, what can be done? Because of storing everything is an object, the data visiting over the network in the form of ciphertext. Object data can be transferred in the form of what? Ciphertext. Ciphertext is nothing but what? Encrypted format. Encrypted format advantage is what? Security can be achieved. Security. For example, you are in Amirpet. You are supposed to give some 50,000 to your friend, and in one hand 25,000, in another hand 25,000 you are keeping, and you are walking in the Amirpet road, and you are telling to that in both the hand 25,000 is there. Anybody require, please follow me. And 10 people are following backside. When you go to a lonely place, they will attack on you and they will take away. This is called what? Plain text. You are exploring what you have. What is your confidential data is the money, which you are exploring by yourself. This is the C programming style. Java programming style, especially Python programming style is what? B is equal to what? Bag of. And what is this now? B dot add money, keep that. B dot add money, 25,000, and you are taking the bag, and you are moving on the way. And nobody knows that your bag is containing 50,000 because everybody is wearing the bag only. So keeping the confidential data inside the object is safety. Yeah? Keeping the data in non-object is safety now. Keeping the data in the object is safety. Transferring. Ciphertext or what? Encrypted format. What is encrypted format? Human unreadable format. Human unreadable format is called what? Encrypted format. Are you getting? Yes. So if we go for C language, because if we go to Django level, we can write server-side programming and client-side programming in olden days. They used to write in C coding. And I'm talking about before this web development coming, earlier web development I am talking about around 20 years back. I am talking about 20-25 years back. That is called a CCA approach we can call. That is not necessary now. I don't want to tell that old story for you. In olden days, server-side program is C, client-side program also C. C language I am talking about. When you transfer the data between two remote machines through the web, the data is going in the browser address bar only. They used to see that. You are sending a PIN number. The PIN number is also explored as a part of what? Browser address bar. If they copy that URL, what is happening? They can paste directly that URL in the browser window, they will mismanipulate. When you are doing online shopping, you are giving your credit card number. That itself is more than enough to manipulate, right or not? Your address, your credit card number, address is different. Bill you will get, goods will go to some other place. There is nothing but a mismanipulation only now. So such a type of mismanipulation to avoid, the most important thing is object-oriented principles came into the picture. So who can transfer the data more securely? Best example is PhonePe, you take it. Any internet gateways, you take it. Any internet transactions, you take it, which are secured. So the data will be transferred in the form of what? Encrypted format. Is it clear? Now, fourth one I am going to talk about it. With object-oriented principles, and object is the main pillar for understanding everything. Behind object, who is there? Class is there. We'll talk about that. We'll come to that. And because of this object, lot of memory space can be minimized. A lot of memory space can be minimized, students. Because of these principles, minimal memory space can be coming. Minimal memory space can be achieved. How the minimal memory space is coming? Take an example. Functional programming in Python, you take it. I defined one function written by me, and you are a part of my project, and you want to use my function. How you use it? Using modules, using packages. Correct? When I say from module name, import that function name. Did you know that? No? I'm talking functional programming. What is happening? The total code, what he has written, it is coming to your place also. Even though you don't write, the same code is substituted in that current program only. That indicates earlier memory space is there, now also memory space is there. If I import the same module 10 to 14 times, what will happen? That many number of times code will be substituted internally. That will take more memory space. But when you come to OOPS, I will write the code in the form of function only, but I don't write only function. I will write in terms of classes. In OOPS, there is one reusability technique is there, which is called inheritance. Inheritance. In a simple word, I will tell you what is inheritance. Your parents worked for 60 years in government service. They earned for 2 crores and they reserved for you for your studies. And you started, education is started. You are paying the school fees or college fees or your university fees. Is that fees you earned and paying? You are reusing the code. Reusing the code. That means, is the same money you is having 2 crores, is coming 2 crores with you again? No. That only what they earned it, you are paying it. That is nothing but what they got it, without you are working hard and without you are defining it, you are using as it is or not. In this case, in inheritance of OOPS, once if I define my code, you will reuse like your modules. Modules will substitute the physical code. Here it is going to use what? No such code will be substituted. It will become lightweight component. You will get the result, but you are not going to get the code as it is. Are you getting? So functional programming and then object-oriented programming difference. Functional programming are little heavyweight components. And the same reusability, what you got it with modules and then packages, in OOPS if you come, to use the reusability, there is a special principle is available called inheritance. With inheritance, what is happening? My parents worked hard, they have that properties, they are giving to me directly. For example, your parents worked hard, they earned so many properties, they are giving directly. Without doing 60 years of life working, in beginning year only you are getting everything. That is nothing but what? Inheritance, that is. So you did not work it, but you are getting that code. So functional level module reusability completely different from inheritance. So inheritance says what? Code is coming, but it is not taking memory space. That is called virtual memory management, we can call. In inheritance, I'll explain. So I'm writing here, minimal memory space is coming as far as the data is concerned. Minimal memory space related applications can build. Minimal memory space applications can build. Minimal memory space applications can build. So I am writing, students, minimal memory space applications can be built. Are you getting me? Feeling difficult? And these things once again through coding also I will explain. Through coding also I will show you. And the fifth one I am writing, students. Fifth one, very, very important. What is the fifth one? I am going to say minimal memory space applications can build. That is what I am using now. Inheritance. Lot of examples I am going to tell you. Lot of examples. Now, coming to back, here I am going to say another point of it. The data what is available, I'll write here. C programming, I'll take it. This is a pure functional programming. That is a pure procedure oriented. I want to do addition, subtraction, multiplication of two numbers. How do you do it? Sum of 10, 20. Sub of 10, 20. And multiplication of what? 10, 20. How many times I wrote 10, 20, 10, 20? So is it not my memory space wasted? And I will define what in C language? Void sum of formal parameters. I will take it. Defining. And one more is what? Void sub of. I am writing once again the memory space. This is what I am writing it. If you come to another way, you are defining void. C language I am writing, ma'am. There I am writing int A is equal to 10. Int B is equal to 20. And you are writing what? A plus B you are carrying. And one more I am writing now. What is this now? Void what? Sub I am writing. Inside of it, what I am saying? Int A is equal to 10. Int B is equal to 20. Int C is equal to A plus B. See how many times I am writing A, B, taking inside. You already know. Taking values from outside, taking values inside. You know, inside, outside, returning value, not returning. Already we have seen it. So where I am writing my data? I am writing my data either inside the function call or inside the function body. Correct or not? So if I take inside the function body, can I access them outside the function? Not, because it is a local variables. That means if I want to use again you need to take it. Is it not taking more memory space in terms of functional programming? So how can I avoid this? That means in C programming, data is available around what? Functions. Where are you storing the data? In functions. In procedure-oriented programming, data is always defined either inside the function call or inside the function body as a local variables. If I want the same data in other place, I have to define the same function once again with a different operation. But data remains same. But when you come to object-oriented programming, how beautiful it is. What I am doing now? O1 is an object. A, B. What is my values present? 10, 20. See students, O1 dot what here? Sum. O1 dot what I am writing? Sub. O1 dot what I am writing? MUL. What are these called? Function calls. Now DEF. Come on, ma. Sum of what I am writing? C is equal to A plus B. A plus B. When you say O1 dot sum is a function operating on my object or not? Inside the sum, A and B belongs to which object? O1. O1 dot sub. Again, I will write what? DEF. What is this now? Sub of. What I am doing now? C is equal to what? A minus B. DEF. MUL. MUL. What I am writing there? C is equal to A star B. How many times I defined my O1? One time. How many times I am defining my function? 3 times. Why what? AB remains same only now. But I am getting different result. 10 in 10 plus 20, 10 into 20, 10 minus 20. Are you following me? Where is my data stored? How many times my data was stored? One time. How many functions operating on it? Read. Is it better or not? One more best example, and you like it. Take your mobile. Your friend contact number stored in your mobile how many times? One time. That one contact number you are using for which purpose? For calling. For calling purpose you are using? For doing what? SMS sending, for WhatsApp chatting, and then for Skype also you are using. And next is called what do you know? For phone pay, for financial transaction, you are doing lot of functions. You are applying on that or not? How many times your contact number was stored in that mobile object? On that object, are you calling many functions or not? What did you understand? One time storing, many operations can perform on the same data. L1 is equal to some value. I can sort it in ascending. I can sort it in descending. I can use for remove. I can use for adding. I can do lot of objects. You already seen it. L1 is equal to, and we are adding the data. Are you getting? So what did you understand? Data is available around the objects. Because of storing the data around the objects, what will happen? What will happen? So much of memory space will be reduced. In terms of data available in object, so much of memory space. Because of reusability, we can go for getting what also? Minimal memory space. So if I design my ML related robo, for example, with a Whoops principle, it will become so much of fast execution will be taken place. If I define the same ML application with a functional programming, it takes more time. That's why Whoops is popular in every industry, because that will take a lightweight component. Functional programming is a heavyweight component, because every time you are defining the function. But Whoops level, once you define one function, that you are carrying, using again and again without taking any memory space. What it is indicating? Less memory space, reusability is very high. This is a slogan of what? Whoops principles. Let me show you a small example here. I would like to show you. Let us carefully understand Whoops. Under that, introduction to object-oriented principles. Careful. All of you try to read out. In real time, to develop any project or application, we use a language, and it can satisfy either procedure-oriented features, also known as functional programming, or object-oriented features. In other words, we have two types of programming languages. They are procedure-oriented programming languages. Example, C80 and Python is there. Second one, object-oriented programming languages, C++, Java, C#.NET, Smalltalk, Ruby, Python, from Oracle 8 onwards. Hence, Python programming language belongs to both functional and object-oriented programming language. Even Python programming belongs to functional programming language. Internally, everything is treated as object. Everything in Python treated as object. Advantages of object-oriented principles. Come on. The concept of object allows us to store large volume of data. The confidential data or information is transmitting between the remote machines in the form of ciphertext encrypted format, so that we can get the security. A large volume of data can be transferred between multiple remote machines all at once, so that we can get effective communication. Fast communication will be getting. The data is always available in the form of objects, so that we can get effective memory management. Whoops principles provides minimal memory space for application development, because Whoops provides reusable mechanisms. Reusable mechanism means inheritance. These are the high-level advantages of Whoops. And to see them one by one in the class, we need to go for programming. Are you following me? So Dinesh, Sanskar, both of you, I hope you are getting at this stage. Are you getting clarity? So compared to your previous days and these days, you try to have the clarity. Are you getting the clarity here? Yes. Now I will move to the further. I'll go for what? A particular language is object oriented. When do you say a language is object oriented? When do you say you are a very good student? When you satisfy some good principles. Good principles is what? Wake up at early morning 4:30, fresh up and open the Python notes, reading for 3 hours, taking breakfast, practicing, reading, again taking lunch, again reading and practicing, and coming to the class without touching the mobile. In a day, half an hour is excusing, you can touch the phone. So they are called what? Sincere students. Are you sincere? Now question mark is coming. Are you sincere? No. What you are? Huh? No. You are good. Then చెప్పాను కదా example. You are good students. But only thing is lazy you are. Not reading. Correct? You are good students, but not reading. Good only, but not reading. I understand. But reading is important. Good is okay. But that good will have result now. Correct or not? Apple is there. A doll apple is there in the home. Will you eat it? But it looks nice. Some work is required. You are good, but what result should come now? Correct or not? That's why. So coming to the point back, now I am going to say, I am going to conclude my sentence. To say any programming language is object oriented, it has to satisfy object oriented principles. Who designed object oriented principles? First of all, who developed it? When you ask C++ people, when you ask C++ learners, they will think that it is developed by the developer of C++, Strastrup, they will think. When you ask Java students who developed OOPS principles, they will think that James Gosling. When you ask Python students who developed OOPS principles, they will say Rosum. When you ask C#.NET, when you ask C#.NET students, they will say that it is developed by Microsoft people. Actually, they did not develop. Who developed sincere rules? Is your Prime Minister developed? Is President of India developed? No. They are also languages only. They are following some rules. These rules are developed by object-oriented principles developed by OMG. What is OMG? Huh? Oh my God, ledu. So this is developed by Object Management Group. 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 It is an open community. It is not one company name. Some lot of experts came forward. They designed some principles. If these principles are satisfied by Python, Python will get the advantages of those principles. Okay, example the person make. Take olden days. 25 years back, you take it. You want to pay telephone bills. Where you need to go? Telephone office, right or not? If you want to buy torchlight, separate torchlight is required or not? You want to buy the calculator. What is required? Separate calculator is purchased or not? You want to speak to the people. You require one landline phone or not? Say. Now, you want to go for something. You want to buy watch. You want to buy watch. Watch you need to buy or not? So telephone, this is called what you know? What is this? Torchlight? Some amount of rupees. Calculator, some amount of rupees. Landline phone, some amount of rupees. And watch, some amount of rupees. Is it not waste of time, waste of money? Today, everything is available in one object called a mobile. So to store this data, X memory space, Y memory space, Z memory space, K memory space, expensive. It is a lot of memory space. My application will become heavyweight. As on today, my object is what? Mobile. This mobile can do everything or not? What did you understand? This is called earlier days. This is called what? With one object, I do many more things. What is it? One in many forms. One in many forms. What is it? Polymorphism. Polymorphism I'll explain so perfectly. This is only you can get it now only. Now only. One in many forms. Spell out. In that, lot of meaning is there. One mobile object can do many more operations. How much space it is taking? One space only, but different. But you take olden days, how much memory space? Many memory spaces, many amount of rupees. But it is going to be little space. With one space, you are doing many more operations or not? One more example I'll tell you. Printing in which color? Quickly. Blue. Printing in which color? Printing in which color? Printing in which color? Printing in which color? How many pens I have? 5 you are feeling, but I have only one pen. One pen printing in 5 colors. Actually, you have to buy blue pen, red pen, purple pen, green pen, yellow pen. My packet is full of pens only. Packet also will tear it off. But there is one pen with multiple refills are there in school days. Is it taking less space or more space? Less space. Which is better? More and more. One in more. What is that? Principle it is. Principle. Now you take. Connect function you take it. Connect function. In Oracle also connect is there. MySQL also connect is there. How many functions? 1. How many operations? 2. Execute function 1 only. Execute in Oracle DDL, DML, DRL. Execute in MySQL DDL, DML, DRL. One in many forms. It takes what? Less space, faster. That type of things I want to take it. Are you getting this? What these are all called? OOPS principles. When you are sitting in my class, who are you? Student. When you go to home, who are you? Children. To your parents. When you go to a shop, who are you? Customer. When you go to a cricket stadium, you are called what? Player. When you go to a movie, who are you? You are an audience. These are all called what? One only, but having different behaviors or not. So, what these are all called? It is a principle, one in many forms. Getting, students? So, I'll explain that. Polymorphism it is. But in Hyderabad, in many places, what is polymorphism? Poly plus morphism is equal to polymorphism. Telugu grammar lo untadi. Hyderabad is equal to Hyder plus Bad. This is what people are teaching. By seeing that, I'll get sometimes why this is happening like that. Poly means, polymorphism is a Greek word. Poly means something, morphism means something. Combine both of them, it is called something. As if that faculty studied Greek language, Latin language, etc. These are all cock and bullock stories. We should not tell anything else wrong. We have to tell point to point, programming. Are you getting my point? So, we have to get perfection in the subject. So, you don't feel it. Because I share with my students, because you already understand my subject knowledge. You have to learn perfectly. When you go to interview tomorrow, what is polymorphism? You have to explain point to point. He has to realize is an extraordinary. You are a fresher. You'll get 3+ years of experience subject. You will get it here. So coming to the point of it, I go for this next term. I'll go forward. Who developed this object-oriented principles? Object management group. They said any language is object-oriented. It has to satisfy 7 principles. Actually, 8 principles are there. One principle is very complicated. That complicated principle by default Python will satisfy. Rosem felt that that principle is very complicated. Python learners will feel difficulty. By default, we will develop our Python by satisfying the property internally. And where it is satisfying, I will explain to you. So, I am writing the first principle called what? Classes. Second one is called what? Object. Third one is called what? Data encapsulation. Data encapsulation. Fourth one is called what? Data abstraction. Now, fifth one is called what? Inheritance. What is this? Inheritance. And the sixth one is called what? Polymorphism. Polymorphism. And seventh one is called what? Message passing. Message passing. Message passing is already discussed. Students, already discussed. Don't ask me at the end of it, sir, what is message passing? Message passing means passing the arguments from function call to the function definition. It's called passing the data. How many ways? Through positionals, through default, through keyword argument, through variable length, through keyword variable length, I can pass. These many ways are there to pass it. All of them are what? Objects only. Got it? So how many principles are there? There is one more is also there. Dynamic binding. In Java, it is available. No faculty will explain this. Because they, first of all, they don't know what is a class. 100% I can say. What they say about class, you take any faculty, a class is a collection of objects, they'll say it's a blunder. Blunder. What is a class? They will say, you also studied in our colleges. A class is a collection of objects. The blunder I say, because you are going to see wonderful definition I am going to say. After listening that class, you'll see how we lived earlier days. By wrong definitions, we are living. So we are going to see how many OOPS principles are there. So let us spell out that. Classes, objects, encapsulation, data abstraction, inheritance, polymorphism. And okay. Now coming to the point back, now I am going to say object-oriented principles. Let us carefully observe it. If any programming language is said to be object-oriented, then that programming language must satisfy the principles of object-oriented. They are classes, objects, data encapsulation, data abstraction, inheritance, polymorphism, message passing. Okay. Now I will start with what first? Class. So class. Now I will start with a class. So shall we start today or Monday? Huh? Why not today? Time is over. Today or Monday? Monday to today came, huh? Monday. Raise the hands. Monday. Why Monday? Stand up. How many data types? Tell me in the order. Don't fold the hands. Stand properly. Tell me. Or tell me. Number 1. 1, 2. Order. Into. Don't tell. No help. Stringer. First morning breakfast, lunch, dinner. Like that. Dinner, lunch, snacks, pani puri, that this mixing everything, stomach will upset. Order. Tell me. Order. Don't fold the hands. When you are folding the hands means you are fearing. Don't fold the hands. Stand like an Indian army. Don't fold the hands in front of anybody. Anything wrong? Huh? Nothing. If you fold the hands like that, it is problem. Number 1. Int. Only one int. Bool. Complex. str. Don't look at. One student already written. Don't tell like that. Into, float, bool. These are all called Telugu mixing with English. You don't know? I said in order only, na? Then why you are not saying the order? What they will ask you, who is your faculty? You will tell my name or not? You will say KVR only. You will not tell RVK, right? So, sit down. Sit down. So, you need to say, order you need to say. Okay, students? Anyhow, on your demand, I'll take it on Monday because some of the students are also underground only. By keeping underground students in mind, because it's an important concept. That's why Monday, actually today only I will give you class concept also, but Monday I will give you. Okay now? Right, don't miss on Monday. And Monday 9 o'clock, a new batch is starting. Monday morning, 9 a.m. new Python batch is starting. Any friends are there, you can intimate, both offline as well as online. Okay, thank you. All the best.